Hello, YouTube. Hello, TikTok. Let's get into it. I am going to talk about a concept that I kind of created today. Not much of a concept, more some food for thought around consistency. And when I was filming some TikToks today that I need to edit and post, I was like speaking and it came out and I was like, this makes so much sense. Do you feel as a high achiever that you are doing the inner work? You've been doing the personal development for a long time where you're trying to develop the relationship with yourself, you're trying to work on your mental health, you overall want to feel more happier, more content with your life. So you have been doing the things like meditating, visualizing, the journaling. Maybe you've started a new wellness routine. Maybe you've even invested in a coach or a masterclass. You were doing the things, at least it feels like you're doing the things to change the way that you think, to change the way, like when you look in the mirror, you're actually happy with the woman that you're seeing. Yet you're at this point where you've been doing this for the past couple of years and you feel that you've either plateaued and you don't know why, or it does not make sense. And this feeds in the plateau, but it doesn't make sense to you why you aren't seeing the results that you are working towards. Maybe you're not attracting that promotion. Maybe you're not attracting the status that you desire inside your career. Maybe you have gotten to a certain point in your business where you're like, why aren't I getting more clients? Like I'm showing up and doing the things. I'm even doing the energetic work. I'm doing the strategy work and I'm not getting any more clients. I've hit a money plateau in my business. Maybe you're working on your finances, you make money, but you equally spend money. And so you're always overspending and you're never having anything to show for the work that you're putting in your career or your business. When it comes to the relationship front, maybe you're a single girl and you're trying to attract the ideal soulmate relationship and it's not happening. Maybe the relationships, romantic, platonic, friendship, all of that you have in your life right now, you're kind of feeling isolated from. You're kind of feeling a little bit disconnected. And every time you're kind of going out for a breakfast, you leave and you sit in your car and you think, why why do I feel like I'm not on the same vibration? Why do I feel so deflated? Why do I feel like these are just not my people? If you're resonating this is definitely going to be for you what I share with you today. And my purpose with sharing this and shining a light on a bit of a different perspective is because I would love for you to start to understand why it feels like you are doing the most. Like you are committed, you're a high achiever for a reason, you're ambitious, but this is really to show you why it's not working. Everything that I mentioned at the start, right? When it comes to your personal development, when it comes to your inner work, the meditating, the maybe you're booking in, naturopaths, maybe shamans, maybe you're going to see a healer, maybe you're getting an astrology birth chart reading. And, I am not saying that these things are wrong or don't do these things. These things I have done myself. But maybe you're doing all of these things because you're trying to work out why isn't my life moving forward? Why aren't I getting that dream relationship? Why aren't I a millionaire yet? You are staying consistent with these things. You've probably started a new wellness routine, the meditation. You're like every single night you're meditating, you're visualizing your higher self. You're consistent with those, but those are the wrong things to be consistent with. And I don't mean stop them. I don't mean that your consistency is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But when you're hitting the plateau, what it tells me is that you are consistent with the wrong things and you are inconsistent with the right things. Now, what are the right things? This is where I share with you my framework, my methodology, which is woman mastery. I truly believe for every woman to be able to become the leader of her life, because why wouldn't we want to step into our own power? Why wouldn't we want to be in control of our own life and be able to dictate exactly how our life? Of course, it's not like we're being tedious and we need to control everything, but it's like you are in control. Like you have the power of your life. You are in power of your decisions and your choices you're making. That is what woman mastery is. And the phases that I go through in woman mastery is phase one, subconscious reprogramming, phase two, identity shifting, and phase three, regulating to a new capacity. These are the things that I want you to become consistent on. And you may sit here and be like, well, okay, I am doing the mindset work, like I'm journaling my limiting beliefs, or I'm doing the EFT tapping. I am shifting my identity. I upgraded my entire wardrobe. But do you notice that you're doing these things and you're still in the exact same position? Or maybe you've reached a new level and you haven't been able to sustain it. So you go back to exactly where you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. So this is where I'm talking about a lot of the time when high achieving women come and work with me, it's because they are consistent. I'm not going to deny them of that, but with the wrong thing. And so I want you to start to look at these 3 phases, and I'll give you a quick rundown on each of these, which, by the way, if you want a free audio training all on this whole phase, and like very practical, very actionable, because there's nothing worse than doing a free training or listening to a podcast and it's like, I don't know what action to take. Like, this is a good pep talk, but what do I do with this? So if you actually want something that's going to be very actionable, let me know. It should be in the show notes, but if it's not, just comment in the show notes here on YouTube audio, or you want the free training. TikTok, it's definitely in the link in my bio. Just scroll down a bit and you'll be able to see it. But I go into depth about what I'm going to tell you. So the things that I want you to start being consistent on is, number 1, reprogramming your subconscious mind. Yes, we need to understand our limiting beliefs. We need to understand the rules that we have created that are currently dictating our life, that are doing us a disservice. When we understand why we keep choosing those rules that are dictating us, we will better understand everything that we're doing in life. And this is why it's the first phase. Everything that you've chosen today, every way that you've interacted, all your motives, the choices and decisions you've made is because it has been created from this belief system. Most people, the consistent part is they get out their journal and they go, oh, I know that I got this belief about money from my mum, or I know I got this belief about relationships from my dad. I don't want to do that anymore. So let's like write a new affirmation. It's a great start, but it's not going to help you move forward. It's why you can write that time and time again. You can uncover that all the belief systems and all the ages that you picked up these beliefs. But if you don't actually know how to transmute them and dissolve them, I think a lot of people think about replacing. When you think about replacing a limiting belief, it's like you putting a veil over it, right? So it's like a veil goes over and the root is still here, right? This is me trying to showcase it. We want to dissolve, we want to eliminate. So when we bring in the brand new programming, it completely eliminates and dissolves the old programming, and that's your new programming. That's your new standard. A lot of people who are just in the journal or watching that mindset class, or doing a little bit of EFT tapping and aren't doing it consistently and understanding the why, this is your old belief and this is your new belief. It just sits like this. So that's the first phase. That's why that's so important, because we really, like, that's the starting point for everyone. And if you haven't even started there, you don't even need to get into phase 2 and phase 3, but I'll share with you what they are. So phase 2 is identity shifting. Now, something doing personal development you probably heard time and time again is act as if, right? Yes, it's a really great concept. But I have this framework. It's called the upside down why framework. And basically what it entails is understanding that concept of act as if and you'll become insinuates that you go from your old identity and then all of a sudden you're new. It doesn't work like that. I've worked with hundreds of high achieving women. The way that it goes is your old identity, you will shift and you will stay for a period of time in an in-between identity. This period of time can be from 1 week to 1 year to 5 years. And it feels like you're making changes, but it's in between because it's half 1 foot in that way and 1 foot the other way. And so we're never reaching the new full identity and embodying that. And that's why sometimes it can feel like you're doing the mindset work, you're understanding the roots and you're getting to the root of it all. But then you get to your identity and it's like, okay, I'm doing all of this, but why do I keep every couple of days waking up and feeling that I'm still not worthy, or getting really scared about the money, or getting really scared to show up in my business? When I just bought this brand new set of clothes and did a photo shoot, but it's not working. It's because you were spending time in the in between where you take aspects of your new identity, you take aspects of your old identity, you fuse them together. And this is where most people sit when they start to do this personal development work. I had a client last who worked with me long term. We finished at the start of this year, sorry. She was 55 and she had been operating in this in between identity since she was about 25. And that's not even over exaggerating. And she was like, I had no idea why I would like feel different in some circumstances, but I just never ever felt like I'd fully changed. I never ever felt the conviction in a brand new me. And this is why, again, phase two comes through phase one. It's like you are more than likely in this in between. Now, the last phase that I'll explain, and like I said, these are the things you need to become consistent with changing, not just setting up a whole new wellness routine or setting up a new attitude at work or creating more content in your business. Yes, all of these things help, but it's the wrong type of consistency. Now, the third phase of woman mastery, my framework, is all about regulating to a new capacity. So this taps into the nervous system. Yes, it's about feeling calm and peaceful and all of that, but it really goes in deeper. And I'm going to share with you an analogy that I share with my clients that I think it really showcases what this phase is about. So, when you have a balloon and you're blowing the balloon, right? And the balloon gets to a certain point and you get scared because you're like, if I keep blowing this balloon, it's going to pop in my face. And then, so what you do is you let out a little bit of air. It constricts the balloon gets smaller, and then you go, whew, it's like this side relief, right? You start to relax. You're like, the balloon's not going to pop anymore. Okay, we'll tie it. We're done with that balloon. Balloon signifies our nervous system. Our nervous system signifies our comfort zone. I have been saying since 2017, when I first started the Jessica Pinili podcast, we don't want to get out of our nervous system. We want to expand our nervous system, we don't want to get out of our comfort zone. We want to expand our comfort zone, which is AKA your nervous system. So don't think about getting out of it. You need to just expand it. So every single time that you were doing phase one of reprogramming, you were shifting your identity, you then need to find the safety and the expansiveness in that brand new self. That's why, again, you could meditate for 500 days straight. And if you're not feeling safe in yourself, if you're getting to the point of you're about to change, the point where you're really about to make a change and then you shy away from it and you constrict, that's a balloon analogy, right? That like you don't expand, you're just constricting and you're going back to yourself. And that's why sometimes it can feel like, oh my God, look at all this change. Look at everything happening for me. And then if we haven't dealt with, or we don't know how to deal with the reprogramming from phase one, we start to think, I'm not worthy. I can't do this. People are going to judge me. Oh my God, I can't do this. I'm going to lose on my, see, and we constrict and we constrict and we constrict. And then people are acting from this constricted place. They're acting from the exact same nervous system that they always have. And that's why they can never get to the next level, let alone sustain it. Part of the woman mastery framework is about being able to sustain the change. There is no point doing all of this work, even the work that I'm sharing with you now, that all of my clients go through, if you can't sustain it, right? You really need to learn to maintain it. And this is about regulating till you get to that sticky point and you can breathe into it and you keep it. And then you tie the balloon on your nervous system and you've got it and you're there, right? And then you go to a new one. And so see how these three phases really tie in all to one another. You can't have one without the other. Like you could do the regulating and you could do the identity work, but you're still going to have the programming, the old programming come up. Or you could do the programming and you can do the nervous system work. But if your identity isn't in tune with both of those, you're never going to feel in place, like the place that you want to be with in life. So when I just kind of looping back to the start of this entire life, right? Being consistent with the things that the personal development things, such as taking the masterclasses, hot girl walks, podcasts, the journaling, booking an astrologer to learn your birth chart, booking a chart, like those things, great. They're not wrong. And I'm not sitting here to say that they are wrong, perceived wrong things. What I am saying is you're consistent on them when you actually need to be consistent on the things that I am speaking about. And like I said, if you want to learn more in depth about this, Number one, you can get a free audio training where I give you some actionable steps on this entire framework. Link in bio or show notes or comment here on YouTube. And number two, my entire 4-month mastermind, Wool Mastery Mastermind, is all about, it's called Wool Mastery because it follows the framework, right? It's 4 months. It's all about high achieving women being able to create success and fulfillment across all boards of their life: business, career, relationships, health, money, wealth, all of it. And to be able to sustain that. And in fact, if you sign up by June 14th, I think the cutoff date is, you will in fact get 2 months complimentary. So instead of 4 months inside of the mastermind, you will get 6 months. It is both mastermind group support and one-on-one support, which is really, really exciting for me. I love giving one-on-one support and getting to know all of my clients one-on-one and to be in that capacity. And you know what? The mastermind, the women inside the mastermind, they're incredible. They're incredible. If you do want to see like what it's like or the vibe, go to my Instagram. The username is @JessPinili. Go to my highlights, click on mastermind, click on 101, go read the testimonials, and you'll see it all. But all of this, like I basically explained, in very simplified terms, my life's work when it comes to helping women reconnect with themselves and build the relationship with themselves and really get in tune with becoming the leader of their life. I spent way too long not being the leader of my life and just playing this side part and just wondering why life was just happening for me. And I would get into this, victim mentality, and I would feel really, really sad about myself. And I would, be, woe is me. But I'm like, I'm reading, I'm journaling, I'm meditating, I'm doing it. And it's like, that's great. But those aren't needle moving things. When I coach business only clients, I talk about needle moving things. When it comes to personal development, these are the needle moving things: your reprogramming, your identity, and your regulation. So I'm going to leave you there. Any other questions, let me know in the comments. You can slide into my DMs over on Instagram @JessPinili. You can get the free audio training. You can apply for the mastermind. Like I said, if you apply and you enroll before June 14th, you will get 2 months complimentary. So that's 6 months inside of the mastermind instead of 4. I'm just doing this coming month. But any questions, definitely let me know. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that you've gotten so much out of this. I really love sharing my framework, and it's just changed my life and it's changed my client's life so incredibly much. Go and look at my testimonials on Instagram. It's just incredible. All right, I'm going to go now. Thank you so much. Bye, YouTube.